Hello everyone, my name is Kieran and this is my senior project. Now you might be asking, what am I doing? Well, if you just look at the title, you can see what I am doing. So throughout the course of me drawing, we are going to be drawing a dragon. Now this is going to be over the course of many different videos. I'm not just going to do it all in one video. You're going to see an evolution of how I do this. Now what you'll see is how I draw this. There are many different styles that artists use in order to draw whatever they want. But today I will just be showing you what I do, what materials that I use, what kind of paper that I use, and mostly just the drawing style of how I do my stuff. This is kind of an introduction to what I'll be doing, and like I said, I'm going to be drawing a dragon, just a simple dragon, but in my own style. So let's get to it. Alright, so to start off an introduction, we must figure out what materials that we are really using in terms to create this magnificent drawing. So first, I want to start out with a pencil. Now, most artists slash people, they typically just use a pencil, and that's what I use most often with my drawings. Typically, pencil is the best way to go because it has an eraser. You can go back and erase something that you just simply don't like or that you just messed up on. So pencil is always a great way to start out with, and personally my preference for like any drawing. And then we move on to the pen. You can use any type of pen, like you can use gel pens, you can use ballpoint pens. Any pen works as long as you can work with what you're comfortable with. So let's say if something, works really well, and if another pen doesn't really work well, use the one that works well and use the one that you're mainly comfortable with. If you're comfortable with the pen that you work with that. That is your tool. Your pen, your drawing utensil is basically your best friend whenever drawing. And finally is a Sharpie. Now, you can always use a Sharpie only in drawings, but what I typically do and what I see other people do is using it for an outline. So let's say if I'm drawing something with a pencil, like if I'm drawing a simple happy face, I always want to outline it to just kind of bring out the features, and it kind of gives a sense of boldness to it. So like if you don't know what I'm doing with just normal pencil, I use Sharpie to, bring out the outlines and say, oh hey, that's a smiley face of what I'm doing. So that's basically materials that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to be showing you an example of what I mean by using these materials. So first, we're not going to start off with the dragon immediately. That is the next video. But first, I'm going to show you just examples of what I mean with these materials. So first, we're just going to be drawing a simple eye. So first, what I want to do is I just want to create this type of shape. It's kind of a half of a circle, it's kind of like a football, if you will. So just think of it as drawing a normal football. You want to draw the other end so it connects with the other end. So you got the base shape. Now what you want to do is you just want to draw a circle in the middle to kind of create the pupil slash the formation of the eye. Now you got a typical eye right there. Now, what I always do is I add a little bit of a glare. Whenever someone is generally looking at you, or when you see in cartoons, you always see that glare in the eye. So that represents the white part. Whenever something is shining down on someone, that's what you always want to put. And now we put the main part of the eye, which is the iris. And that is the general shape of someone's eye. That is the black part, and that just kind of brings out more of what I'm talking about. So when this is colored in, you'll see what I'm talking about, and that is what you do with a pencil normally. Now, I'm going to be moving on to these materials and showing you how this works. So with a pen, you can pretty much do anything. Now, like I said, most people start out with pen, but I generally just, go over it again, just kind of give it the base shape that we're going to be doing it with Sharpie eventually. But what you want to do is you just want to have that general shape of, hey, I'm drawing an eye. It's pretty clear from the start of what we're doing. Now, we just want to color this in a little bit. Now, I'm going to make this black just for personal preference. And I'm just going to use it to shade it. Now, shading is an often technique by most artists. It kind of just creates the central basis of what you want to use for the eye. So this is what I have, and this is what we'll be working with when we transition into Sharpie. To finally cap off what we're doing here, and to cap off this video for the introduction, we're just going to simply be using a Sharpie to bring out the outlines in the eyeball. So we're just going to be bringing this around. I got to be careful here. So simply just like that. and then you bring it around just like that. Oop, messed up a little bit there, but it's all right. We can just we can add a little bit of shape around it. See, you just want to give a little bit of shape around it. Pretend it's like wrinkles, or like eye bags. You can always just add on the details, and that always happens. If you ever mess up, you can just pretend like, oh hey, that's a part of the eyeball. You want to make it nice and realistic. If you want, you can always make a cartoon eye. That's totally fine. So, like I said, I'm bringing out the general shape here, and there we go. So that is an eyeball just to start off with, and this was just to show what the materials do and what is their purpose in each of the drawings. So I will see you for the first episode of Drawing a Dragon in the next video. See ya!